Ang math ay easy lang. Basta't alam mo kung paano sumunod sa mga rules and regulations nito. Ako po si Ma'am Carol, isang guro ng mathematics.
Hello mga kamath! The video for today is about trigonometric ratios of special angles. This is the second part of our trigonometric series, second to the basic concepts of trigonometry. It is still part of the module 7 of trigonometric functions and included in the grade 9 fourth quarter lessons in mathematics. So we are going to discuss the special angles with reference to the unit circle. Kasi mas madaling makuha natin yung mga values at makikita natin kung saan nakuha yung mga values ng 6 different trigonometric functions nitong mga angles na to. Dahil meron tayong unit circle at kung matatandaan nyo, ang unit circle natin, just like this, yung radius natin ay equal sa 1. So, napakadaling mag-solve kapag ka ang basis natin ay laging equal sa 1. Okay? So, let's start. So, remember a square with all sides equal. So, ang reference natin dito, we have drawn a square whose corner is in the origin. Okay, so ayan siya. And the two sides coincide with the x-axis, this particular side, and then the other side coincides with the y-axis. So, doon tayo nag-drawing ng square. And another characteristic of a square is lahat ng sides ng square ay equal. So, all of them are congruent. So, geometrically speaking, the sides of a square are congruent or they have the same measure. Now, if we are going to draw a diagonal, so a diagonal line from one corner to the opposite corner, di ba? So, yan. Tapos, mapapansin natin na yung diagonal natin starts from the origin and ends on the circle itself. Therefore, the length of our diagonal is equal to 1, which is also our radius. Kaya naka-red siya. Para connect natin yung relationship ng unit circle natin doon sa dinrawing natin na square. So, diagonal of the square is same as the radius of the circle. Now, mapapansin mo na kapag isang katangian pa rin ng square ay all of its corners ay 90-degree angles. 'Di ba? So, 90 degrees yan. Right angles lahat siya. And when we have drawn the diagonal from this corner to that corner, we have divided it equally. So, hinati natin talaga siya sa gitna. And what happens is when we divide 90 degrees by 2, ang lalabas na angle dyan ay 45 degrees. So, yan. Meron na tayo. 45 degrees. And the same thing happened here. So, dito sa kabilang corner na to, we also made a 45-degree angle. So, ngayon, let's disregard the other half of the square. At ito ngayon ang pagtuunan natin ng pansin, yung triangle dito sa ilalim. Now, we have a 45-degree angle, another 45-degree angle, at ito ay 90-degree angle. With two sides congruent, we are going to call this, or under the definition, formal definition, this triangle is called an isosceles right triangle. Now, our hypotenuse is equal to 1, diba? So, we have a right triangle and the opposite side to the right angle is the hypotenuse. So, it's as indicated here. But the question is, what are the lengths of these two legs? Okay, we know that they are equal, but we don't know the actual measure. So, that's what we're going to solve. So using the Pythagorean theorem that says c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared, where c is the hypotenuse and sides A, B are the legs, we can substitute the information that we have from here to the Pythagorean theorem. So what happened? Bakit ako nagkaroon ng ganito? The c squared, which is the hypotenuse, and we know for a fact that the hypotenuse is equal to 1, naging 1 squared na siya. A squared is the same, a squared pa rin, pero pinalitan ko yung b squared ng a squared din. Why? It's because we know that a is equal to b. So sabi nga doon, bakit ka pa kailangan mo ng dalawang variables kung pwede mo namang gawing isa lang sila? Since they are equal, then I can change b into a. Thus, I have this equation, a squared equals a squared plus a squared. So 1 squared is equal to a squared plus a squared. And then, what happens is, I just added the coefficient. So, meron tayong 1a squared at saka 1a squared. Pag inadd mo yan, is equal to 2a squared. So, ang hinahanap natin ngayon yung a, di ba? At gusto natin mawala lahat yung mga numbers na katabi niya. So, ang una nating i-eliminate ngayon using cross multiplication ay itong 2 na to, ililipat natin sa kabila. So, we have 1/2 is equal to a squared. So, itong 2 na to na minultiply sa kanya, opposite ng multiplication ay division. So, pag tinransfer natin sa kabila, magiging denominator siya. So, we have 1/2 is equal to a squared. The next thing that we're going to eliminate is the squared or the exponent of a. And the opposite of the exponent 2 or the power 2, the opposite operation of that is the square root. That's why on the left side of the equation, we have the square root of the quantity 1/2. So, hindi lang yung 1 yung in-square root natin, kundi yung buong expression na 1/2, yun yung in-square root natin. Okay? And then, sabi sa arithmetic natin, kapag ka daw tayo may radical expression such as this involving a fraction, hindi pwedeng ang denominator, kasi nasa denominator yun 2, magkakaroon siya ng square root. Kailangan we rationalize the denominator, and this is the operation to rationalize the denominator. So, nagkaroon tayo dito ng base natin dito, di ba? 1/2. So, 1/2 yung may square root. So, equal daw yon sa ang gagawin mo, kung ano yung denominator, yun din yung imumultiply niya. Take note ha, imumultiply mo siya sa numerator at saka imumultiply mo rin siya sa denominator. So, we have 1 square root of 1 over square root of 2 times square root of 2 over square root of 2. So, what happens is, ang mangyayari, yung 1 at saka yung 2 dito, 1 times 2, magiging 2 siya, square root of 2. Tapos, itong b na to, okay, so mawawala na yung square root sign niya, magiging 2 na yon. So, that's why we have this expression. So, square root of 2 over 2 is equal to a, which is also equal to b. So, let us now solve for the 6 trigonometric functions of angle 45 degrees. Remember our mnemonic, so katawa. We are going to use that to compute for the 6 trigonometric values. Listed here are the values that we have computed from the previous slide. So, sabi natin, the hypotenuse is equal to 1. The adjacent side is equal to the square root of 2 over 2. At yung opposite side is equal to the square root of 2 over 2. Okay? Una muna nating solven ay yung sine of 45 degrees, and we have found out that the sine of 45 is equal to the square root of 2 over 2. Mapapansin mo ha, di ba? Parehas lang din sila nung adjacent at saka nung opposite. Bakit kaya? Sabi dito sa ating mnemonic na SOHCAHTOA, sine of the angle is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So, ang opposite natin ay square root of 2 over 2. Ang hypotenuse natin ay equal sa 1. Mathematically speaking, if a numerator is divided by 1, yung value ng numerator ay hindi naaapektuhan. So, it remains as it is. Therefore, yung sine ng 45 ay kung ano yung value ng numerator, which is the square root of 2 over 2. Same thing with yung second part ng mnemonic natin, yung ka. The cosine of 45 degrees is also the square root of 2 over 2 because yung adjacent natin ay yung square root of 2 over 2 at yung hypotenuse niya na ipang-divide natin ay equal sa 1. So, pareho pa rin yung rule, di ba? If it is divided by 1, it doesn't affect the value of the numerator. Ang tangent 45 degrees naman natin, ang nakuha natin na final answer is equal to 1. Bakit siya naging 1? Sabi dito dun sa last part ng mnemonic na TOA, tangent of 45 degrees is equal to the opposite over adjacent. The opposite side is the square root of 2 over 2. The adjacent side is the square root of 2 over 2. Sabi natin dun sa fraction, if the numerator is equal to the denominator and we simplify it, that is equal to 1. So, yan mga elementary mathematics lang yung ina-apply lang natin dito. So, we have here the first three trigonometric function following yung SOHCAHTOA natin. So, how are we going to find the next three? Sabi natin, yung second ay reciprocal lang ng cosine. Ulit, ang second natin start with S, ang reciprocal niya ay yung letter C, which is cosine. Anong ibig sabihin ng reciprocal? Baliktarin mo lang daw yung position ng numerator at saka ng denominator. That's why we have this. O yan, di ba? Nabaliktad na yung position niya. However, sa rules ng mathematics, hindi mo pwedeng i-present ang ganitong answer. Bakit? Kasi yung denominator niya ay radical. Hindi pwedeng may square root ang denominator. This is not yet simplified. And the only way to do this is to rationalize the denominator. Ito na nga yung pinresent ko na formula kanina. So, anong gagawin natin? Yung denominator natin na square root of 2, yun yung gagamitin nating multiplier sa both numerator and denominator. O, tingnan nyo ha, pareho siyang meron. Now, another rule in math. Yung whole number at saka yung radical, hindi siya pwedeng maging magkasama sa loob. This is already in its simplified form. And it is read as 2 times the square root of 2. Yan na siya. However, ang denominator pwede natin siyang i-simplify. Dahil siya ay may square root at ito ay may square root, pwede natin siyang i-multiply. The square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is actually the square root of 4. And we know for a fact that the square root of 4 is exact and the answer for that is 2. Okay? Kaya meron tayong 2 dito. Now, pansinin mo na mabuti tong fraction na ito. Meron kang whole number na to dito at meron kang whole number na to dito. Pwede mo siyang i-cancel out. Ang hindi pwedeng mag-cancel ay yung may radical at walang radical. Pero yung walang radical ay pwedeng mag-cancel out. So these two whole numbers were canceled out. That's why the only thing that is left is the square root of 2. Therefore, when you are asked what is the secant of 45 degrees, the final answer or your answer should be square root of 2. So don't say this anymore. This is the answer. Now, the same thing with the cosecant. Cosecant is just the reciprocal of sine. And since the reciprocal is just the same thing as this, we don't have to compute it anymore. All we need to do is to copy yung value ng secant. That's why the cosecant of 45 degrees is equal to the square root of 2. Okay? O, isa pang madali. What is cotangent of 45 degrees? The cotangent of 45 degrees is just the coefficient or the reciprocal, the reciprocal of the tangent. What is 1 over 1? Di ba? 1 pa rin. So, cotangent of 45 degrees is equal to 1. So, these are the 6 trigonometric values of 45 degrees. So, meron tayong sine, cosine, tangent, secant, cosecant, at saka cotangent. The other special angles ay 30 and 60 degrees. Why is it special? Because 30 degrees and 60 degrees are complementary angles. Ibig sabihin nun, pag inad mo yung 30 at saka 60, equal siya sa 90 o opposite lang siya. Okay? So, pareho pa rin yung analysis natin kagaya dun sa isosceles triangle. So, ito yung ating radius. Tapos, ito yung adjacent side natin. Ito yung opposite side. So, ngayon, yung opposite natin is opposite the 30-degree angle. Okay, so, yan yung gagamitin natin na reference. Now, how are we going to analyze or find the values of the 6 trigonometric functions using this unit circle? May strategy dyan. Ito yung gumawa daw tayo ng pangalawang triangle papunta dito sa ilalim. Now, tingnan natin yung triangle na nagawa natin, diba? Para makita natin yung mga values. So, ito siya. Tapos extend lang natin siya sa ilalim. Parang dinoble natin, nag-flip tayo, gumawa tayo ng parang mirror image niya sa ilalim. So, ano nangyari? 60 pa rin to, di ba? Tapos ito, yung 30 mo, nagkaroon ka sa ilalim ng 30. So, 30 plus 30, malalaman mo na itong buong angle na to ay 60 degrees. So, 60 degrees, 60 degrees, at 60 degrees. Ano yung natatandaan natin sa geometry kapag equilateral, equiangular yung triangle. Ibig sabihin ng equiangular triangle ay yung triangle na lahat ng angles niya ay pare-pareho yung measure. So, 60, 60, 60. So, from a theorem in geometry, it says here that equiangular triangle is also equilateral, meaning yung mga sides daw niya, lahat yun ay pare-pareho ng sukat. So, if this is equal to 1, this is equal to 1, that is equal to 1. And it gives us a clue kung gaano kalaki yung opposite side ng 30-degree angle. Okay? Sana na-gets niyo yung geometric analysis natin para makuha natin yung value nung isa doon sa mga sides. So, yan. So, ang ginawa ko dito is I have removed yung unit circle. Hinati ulit yung dalawang triangle. Parang dinisect natin para makita natin na mabuti. So, yung R natin, yung radius is equal to 1. Tapos, ito R pa rin siya, diba? At sabi natin, ito ay equal din sa R kasi equilateral siya. So, based on that, diba? Based on that, we can see that R is equal to 2A. So, itong A na to, at saka itong A na to, ay equal lang sa R. Diba? Or, if we want to get the value of A, ito transfer lang natin siya sa kabila by cross multiplication, and we know that R is equal to 1, A is equal to 1/2. So we have now a value for the opposite side of 30-degree angle. So the hypotenuse is equal to 1. The opposite side is equal to 1 half. 1 half of 1 is 1 half. Okay? So, malalaman din natin from that, from the sokatawa, that the sine of 30 degrees is equal to 1 half. Because sabi natin, S-O-H, di ba? Opposite. 1 half ito, divided by 1, therefore, it is equal to 1 half. Now, ano na lang yung nawawala pa natin? Yung adjacent, di ba? We don't know that yet. Now, using the Pythagorean theorem to get the value of B, o yung tinatawag natin na adjacent side, diba? So, we have here, yung C yung hypotenuse, yung A yung pinaka-opposite natin. Ito, yun yung inassign natin doon na value. We will now going to look for B. Okay, so, substituting everything. So, yung A natin, which is 1 half, at yung C natin, which is 1, we have here this equation, 1 half squared plus B squared is equal to 1 squared. 1 half squared is 1 half times 1 half. So, that's 1/4. Yung B squared natin, same. Yung pa rin. And then, 1 squared ay 1 times 1. That's equal to 1. Now, ililipat natin lahat yung mga constant para maiwan yung B squared doon. So, pag nilipat natin yung 1/4, magiging minus siya or negative. So, yun. So, B squared is equal to 1 minus 1/4. So, yung 1, babawasan mo ng 1/4, syempre, alam natin yun ay 3/4, diba? So, B squared is equal to 3/4. Now, ano yung susunod na gagawin natin? I-eliminate natin yung exponent na square, di ba? So, paulit-ulit na natin ginagawa yan. The opposite of square is square root. That's why we have the square root of 3/4. So, take note, yung square root sign natin, ang in-square root niya ay yung buong fraction na 3/4. Ngayon, hindi natin gagamitin dito yung rationalization of the denominator. Why? Kasi, dun sa kabila, kaya tayo nag-rationalize, yung denominator, hindi siya perfect na square. Hindi natin ma-square root. But here, yung 4, mai-square root mo siya. The square root of 4 ay 2. Diba? Kaya ang magiging value ng B ay the square root of 3 over 2. Which is also the cosine of 30 degrees. Yan. So, meron na tayong mga values para sa opposite, which is 1 half, the adjacent, which is the square root of 3 over 2, and consequently, that is also the value for dito sa sine of 30, at saka dito naman sa ilalim para sa cosine of 30 degrees. So, kukumpletohin natin yung table ng trigonometric. So, ano yung special nga ulit dun sa 30, 60, 90? Sabi ko, yung 30 at saka 60 complementary angle siya. So, eto papansinin nyo. Kung 30 degrees yung pinag-uusapan natin, yung sine niya ay 1 half at yung cosine niya ay square root of 3 over 2. Pero kapag ka 60 degrees, babalik rin mo lang yung value nila. Kasi yun nga yung ibig sabihin ng complementary. So, kung sa 30 degrees, ang sine niya ay 1 half, sa cosine naman, sa 60 degrees naman, sa cosine yung 1 half. So, nagpalit siya ng posisyon. Ganun lang siya kadali. Hindi na tayo magko-compute ng kay dami-dami. Ang gagawin mo lang, mag-memorize ka lang ng isa, baliktarin mo lang siya. Yun na yung para dun sa kabilang angle. Yung tangent naman, i-divide mo lang yung opposite sa adjacent, 'di ba? Tawa. Opposite over adjacent, ito yung lalabas. Tatandaan nyo kaya yan nakuha, gumamit tayo ng cancellation, 'di ba? Minsan nagka-cancel tayo sa mga fractions kapag pare-pareho lang yung mga denominator or your numerator, we can cancel out. So, this is what happened. At saka, ito yung lumabas na cotangent. So, pansinin mo, yung cotangent nito, mapunta doon. Tapos, yung tangent nito, napunta doon. Kasi nga, reciprocal silang dalawa. And then, doon naman sa second at saka cosecant, ito yung nakuha natin na value following yung mga rules natin ng reciprocal. So, ayan, ang nangyari, di ba? Kung second siya dito, cosecant siya dito sa 60 degrees. Yung yung cosecant dito sa 30 degrees, which is 2, is also the secant of 60 degrees. So, 2 din siya. So, ayun, nagpapalitan lang siya. It's because 30 degrees and 60 degrees are complementary angles. So, the other special angles are 0 and 90-degree angles. So, papakita ko muna dito sa illustration kung saan yon. So, gumamit tayo nung yung first quadrant ng unit circle natin. At the same time, reflected din yung 30 degrees, 45 degrees, at saka yung 60-degree angle natin. So, ang gandang reference nito, nandito na siya lahat. So, yung 0-degree angle, ay itong angle na to, nakalapag lang siya dun sa x-axis. At yung 90-degree angle naman, ay itong buong malaki na to. So, yan, yung buong malaki na yan, 90 degrees. Alam naman ng lahat yan eh, yan yung 90 degrees. Okay? Consequently, yung 0 degree daw ay equal din sa 360 degrees. At ito pa yung isang gusto kong makuha nyo. Dito kasi sa pag-aaral natin, laging sa first quadrant lang siya naka-reference. Pero hindi ibig sabihin nun laging nasa first quadrant. Pag lumipat na siya dito sa kabila sa second quadrant, lahat ng mga ibang values niyan, especially doon sa referred doon sa mga opposite sides, ganyan, magiging negative na siya. So pag lumipat siya ng quadrant, magkakaroon na siya ng pagbabago doon sa mga signs. So magkakaroon na ng mga negatives yan. Okay? So, minsan, mapupunta siya dun sa third quadrant na parehong negative yung x and y axis at saka dun sa fourth quadrant naman na negative yung y axis. So, yan. Naaral nyo na yan dun sa algebra, basic nung algebra. Siguro mga first grading or second grading na algebra yan. So, ulit ha, yung 0 degrees ay 360 degrees. Pareho, nakapatong lang siya doon. Isa lang siyang maliit na guhit na papunta doon. At saka yung 90 naman ay yung malaki dito. So, eto yung 6 na trigonometric functions ng 0 at saka ng 90 degrees. Kasi madali lang naman siya, kaya hindi na kailangan ng matinding computation. Tinanin nyo. Yung sign ay opposite. 'Di ba? So, ito muna dito tayo ha. Ito dito sa line na naka-flat na ganon. Kung naka-flat siya, meron ba siyang opposite? 'Di ba wala? Kasi flat lang naman siya. Hindi naman siya halos nakabuo ng triangle kasi line lang siya. So, 0 yung sign niya kasi wala siyang opposite. Tapos, yung cosine niya, so ito yung pinag-uusapan natin, bakit siya naging ganun, 'di ba? Yung cosine niya, yung x-axis, isang buong radius yung kanyang x-axis, kaya siya equal sa 1. Okay? Kaya siya equal sa 1. Ngayon, yung tangent, bakit siya 0? So, ulit, yung sine natin, associated siya sa opposite. Yung cosine natin, associated siya sa adjacent. So, ano yung tangent? Opposite divided by adjacent. What is 0 divided by 1? The answer is 0. Kaya ang tangent ng 0 degree ay 0. Ngayon, ano yung cotangent? Cotangent is the reciprocal of tangent, or as we say, adjacent divided by opposite. Diba? So, imbis na yung tangent natin 1 divided by 0, yung cotangent natin magiging 0, magiging 1 divided by 0. Napunta na sa denominator yung 0. Di ba sabi natin kapag ka denominator ay 0, undefined yun. Hindi pwedeng maging denominator yung 0. So, eto na siya. Kaya siya naging undefined. And then yung second is the reciprocal of cosine. So, what's the reciprocal of 1? That's just equal to 1. And yung cosecant naman is the reciprocal of sine. So, again, magiging denominator ay 0, kaya siya magiging undefined. So, 1 divided by 0 is undefined. Now, yung 90 degree, di ba pinag-usapan na natin yung sinabi natin kanina dun sa 30 at saka 60 degree angle, they are complementary. So, yung 0 at saka yung 90, ganun din, parang complementary. So, pag nalaman mo na to, hindi mo na kailangan i-memorize itong kabilang angle na to. Magbabaliktad lang siya ng mga values. So, ganun lang siya. So, madali na siyang tandaan. So, kung una nating minemorize, di ba, SOHCAHTOA. Galing sa SOHCAHTOA, nakuha natin yung secant, cotangent. Tapos, from there, nalaman natin na meron tayong 45 degree angle na magkapareho yung opposite at saka adjacent. At saka yung 30 at 60 degrees na complementary, na ang 30 degrees, ang opposite ay 1/2. At saka yung kanyang adjacent ay square root of 2 over 2. Yun lang yung mga tatandaan nyo, yung isang ano lang part. Yung kabila, babaliktarin mo na lang din yun. Di ganun nga. And then, ito ding 0 at 90. So, what do you need to memorize? Ito lang, sine at cosine. Sine is the opposite. Cosine is the adjacent. And from there, you can get everything. Diba? So, madali na siyang sauluhin. Hindi naman kailangan sauluhin lahat. Now, ang susunod natin is we are going to apply yung mga values ng trigonometric functions kapag ka binigyan tayo ng mathematical expression. So, here's the first exercise. Evaluate without using a calculator. So, saya nito, di ba? Walang calculator, utak lang. So, 2 times sine of 30 degrees plus 3 times cosine of 60 degrees minus 3 times the tangent of 45 degrees. Meron ba tayong lalabagin na rule na inaral natin dati? So, tandaan natin, MDAS. Yung MDAS, unahin mo daw muna yung multiplication kesa dun sa addition, di ba? And these two involves multiplication. So, sila muna yung uunahin natin. But before that, let's get first the values of this trigonometric function, sine of 30 degrees, cosine of 60 degrees, and tangent of 45 degrees. Galing dun sa memory natin, sine of 30 degrees, di ba yung sine ay yung opposite ng 30 degrees. Siya yung maliit, yung triangle kanina na may dalawa na hiniwalay natin. Yung opposite niya ay 1/2. Cosine ng 60 ay reciprocal lang ng 30, so 1/2 din siya, diba? Complementary. Tapos, yung tangent nito ay 1. Kasi, yung opposite at saka yung adjacent niya magkasing laki, pareho ng numerator at denominator, pag dinivide mo, equal sa 1. So, let's see. O, diba? Ayan siya. So, ganun lang yung paraan na ginagawa ko para mabilis ako makapag-analyze. And then, I will know the functions. Hindi dahil sa ako yung gumawa ng question, alam ko yung sagot nito. It's because I have put in my mind the image of the unit circle. Alam mo na yung unit circle, tapos doon ka nag-drawing ng mga triangles, diba? Pag napasok na yun sa isip mo, parang photographic memory, kumbaga. And you know yung mga relationship na, itong palang mga to, mga reciprocal, etc., etc. Or they are complementary angles. Eh di madali na yung mamememorize. So we will substitute na ha. So ito, ipapalit natin doon, ito papalit natin doon, ito papalit natin doon. So what happens? So ayun na yung nangyari. And then following MDAS lang, walang PEMDAS dito kasi wala naman tayong exponent at saka ano pa man. So i-multiply natin to sa 1/2, ito i-multiply natin doon, and then that. So yan. So 2 times 1/2 is 1. 3 times 1/2 is 1.5. Pwede naman tayong gumamit ng decimal. It's okay. Wala namang sinasabing hindi pwede. And then 3 times 1 is 3. And then solve from left to right. Kaya tayo nakakuha ng negative 0.5. That's our final answer. So we have another exercise here. Yan. So evaluate without using a calculator. So this time, may involve naman na exponent. So papasok na natin dito yung PEMDAS natin. So sabi dun sa PEMDAS, you have to evaluate muna daw yung exponential function bago ka mag-multiply at saka mag-addition. Okay? So from the trigonometric table, we have the following values. The cosine of 30 degrees is the square root of 3 over 2. Kasi ito yung side adjacent. Okay? So, tingnan nyo ha, pagka in-square mo siya, ito yon. Pag in-square mo siya, yung square root of 3, multiply mo sa square root of 3, nawala na yung square root, di ba? Square root of 3 times square root of 3 is the square root of 9. The square root of 9 is 3. Kaya 3 na yon. And then 2 times 2 equals 4. So pag in-square root mo pag in-square mo yung square root of 3 over 2, 3/4 siya. Ito naman, sine of 30. So the sine of 30 degrees is 1/2. Oh, ito din yung kagaya dun sa last exercise natin. Sine 30, yun yung opposite niya, yung 1/2. Pag in-square mo yung 1/2, 1/2 times 1/2 equals 1/4. So, yan. So, isa-substitute natin siya dun sa original equation natin. So, meron tayong 3. Multiply natin sa 3/4 plus 2. I-multiply natin sa 1/4. So, multiply natin siya. So, what happens is 3 times 3 equals 9. Diba? Yung whole number, minumultiply sa numerator lang. So, 9 over 4 plus 2 times 1 is 2 over 4. Tapos add natin siya. So, wala namang problema sa adding kasi same denominator sila. So, 9 plus 2 equals 11 over 4. So, para sa akin, that's already a simplest, the answer in its simplest form. Pero pagka gusto ni teacher ng decimal, edi i-divide nyo na lang siya, 11 divided by 4. So, yun na yung magiging final answer nyo. So, that ends our video para dun sa second lesson of special angles ng trigonometric functions. So, thank you very much for watching and God bless.
Huwag niyo pong kalimutan na mag-like, subscribe, and share ng video ito. At kung meron pa po kayong mga gustong itanong o mga topics na dapat na i-discuss ko, please comment down below.